Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Penalty Loop Podcast, a podcast about biathlon by Jordan Gottschalk from Penalty Loop and a regular guest, RJ Weiss from Biathlon Analytics.
Hey, Dr. J. How's it going?
We're doing okay. I'm disappointed. I was expecting a grand intro. We're back to the old standby.
Yeah, I was actually wondering what language I should be using, but I guess it's Canadian English or with a small Dutch accent.
Yeah, which apparently helps put people to sleep.
Okay. Can you elaborate?
I have it confirmed that you have a soothing voice and that people are worried if they're too sleepy
so when much my Dutch accent.
When they listen that they might fall asleep, so they have to listen when they're awake, because otherwise those soothing tones will just put them into a restful,
Yeah, I think that's just a really nice way to say that I mumble a lot. But,
no, I don't think it is actually. It really is. It's the nice accents, the deep tones and the nice accent.
See, now I'm putting myself on the same level as the Canadian People's History. No, People's History of Canada. Anyway, whatever the show is called. I love this show because it's a documentary on the history of Canada, of course. And I could not stay awake with whoever the person talking is.
Oh, good.
And the music with it. It was just, I don't know. I think in the end, I probably saw all episodes, but it was crazy.
It was great for your sleep.
Absolutely, yeah.
Every now and then, whenever you get a bout of insomnia, you should just cue it up.
Yeah, that's it's actually a good idea. I might actually use that tonight.
How was the skiing then? Out in Canmore and in the area?
So I went last Monday. The skiing was okay. That had more to do with the fact that I hadn't waxed my skis for about 6 weeks. So having those dry skis and then having wet conditions is not ideal. It's spring season, so it's going to be wet. But we still have fresh snow. We still had some 2 days ago. It's just not very cold, but we went skiing. I took the boys skiing somewhere last week, and downhill skiing, that is, and conditions were incredible.
Great.
So had a little bit of a hiccup, but you've seen the picture of the clean cut that Lucas had on his back.
Yep. It was actually perfect. If I was working in the ER or the urgent care, I would have loved to have seen it.
I couldn't believe it without getting into many gory. Well, there weren't really gory details to my surprise, but Lucas wanted to do a jump and he ended up in a little bit of the trees. And, of course, you're like, are you okay? Yeah, I was all okay. And then we were skiing for a bit longer. And then he's like, can you just check my back? Because it kind of feels like I scratched. Maybe I hit a bit of a tree stump. And he has a 2-inch, like 5 centimeter cut on his left hip butt area. And I've never seen it because originally when I saw it and it wasn't bleeding, I was like, well, my eyes must be playing a trick on me. Was it because it was quite a gap? It was just cut, but he wasn't bleeding really. And we made it to the emergency services at the bottom of the hill, and he had to get stitches. So on our way back to Calgary, we stopped in Cochrane to get stitched up, and very super nice people that helped him out there, and he's all good.
That's great.
But it really made me wonder, like, what the hell would I have done if you're in the trees and there's blood everywhere? And so it could have been a lot worse. But all went well. But that all said, has nothing to do with biathlon. I was going to ask you, how has your first couple of weeks been without biathlon?
It's been good. It's just strange. I think on the weekends, getting used to not waking up and having it. I feel this way every year, though. That it's just
that antsy feeling of, there's something I should be doing, but I don't really know what.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. and suddenly having extra time and not really knowing what to do with it is weird. And of course, I find many ways to, fill it, like actually, doing my taxes.
Doesn't
that
take
kind
long.
Of fun stuff. No, but that first couple of days, you're like, I don't know what to do. So like, went out and tried to dig up a tree that had died during a freeze, about 6 weeks ago, and turned out it was a much bigger project. I broke a shovel, and then
it always?
got a new shovel, continued the project, and then just gave up. I was like, I'll come back to this some other time. But yeah. So yeah, just doing stuff like that and trying to figure out what to do with myself.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to say a quick thank you. There have been a lot of people who have reached out and sent emails, throughout the season, or reached out on private message on X or Instagram or whatever. And I just found out that, I'm saying this for a reason. I just found out that a bunch of people who I didn't have previous conversations with on X, I just hadn't seen their messages, and these go back like several months. So I apologize. I will work through and respond to everybody. I was not intentionally ignoring anybody, but I do apologize about that, and I felt bad. So I'll just shoot. If it's been 5 months and I didn't answer your message, and you suddenly see a message from me, I'm sorry. I literally did not see it. So I'm getting through it now. Yeah, I sincerely felt that. There's a little tab, I think, where you can see, where I don't remember even what the tab is called, but basically you can see people who you're not already talking to. Requests.
I'm still confused when I'm trying to post something on Instagram. So
and there was this big long list, and so I'm just I'll work my way through it. But I felt bad. So.
And don't if anybody happened to have reached out to me and then didn't get back, it's very likely I haven't seen it, because, and it's not because I'm not responding, because I will respond if I see it. But
keep reaching out. We appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Yep. So thank you, everybody.
No, I was going to say I started this stats project, which of course in my head I was really trying hard to keep it simple, because as you know by now, I tend to dig in a little too deep, but I think I dug in a little too deep by now, because
great, good.
The idea is really simple, but then if you look at the data, there's actually, like, when they enter the range and when they leave the range, but then you don't really know when the shooting time happens during the range time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's but I like challenges, so
it's gonna be great. You're gonna figure it out. It's gonna take all summer, and then I get to play with the data. When you finally get it done, I get to play with it, and it's like this fun new toy for me to have that I didn't have to work for at all.
Yeah. No,
it's great. I love it.
Yeah.
So now that as I say, now that it's
just before the season,
well, that'll actually be the perfect time though, because it'll be something fun to look at, and then to play with as we go through it. Now that it's been 2 weeks, is what I was going to say. Perfect time to look back, and with the cobweb starting to form, to try to look back at the season and figure out what we saw, and I don't know, just have a good chat about it.
So one way to start, I told you that I was preparing something simple.
Yeah,
so
very nervous about it.
For every weekend, and it's kind of random, I've tried to do like one for the women and one for the men, but I'm going to list you what I think are two surprises, and I want to know from you which to you is the bigger surprise.
Oh, great.
Of those events. And then, of course, we can elaborate on the weekend and that kind of thing.
Now, is this me on April 5th looking back and saying, oh, like sitting here today and saying that is the bigger surprise? Or is this what I thought was the bigger surprise at the time it happened?
It can be both. It can be one of those two.
Great. Okay.
It's quite open.
All right.
So I'll start with first week in Östersund.
Mm-hmm.
We had the Finnish woman Lynamo getting in second place. But how would you rate that compared to Veer winning that race?
Huh. I would probably say at the time I was probably more surprised at Lynamo in second, just because we had seen Veer have these moments over I don't know. That's me looking back, right? I would probably more surprised at Lynamo, especially I think you know what, this is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it where I am today, looking back.
Sure.
More surprised at Linamo. We didn't see anything the rest of the season that made us think that was, you know, something that she would continue to do. Doro had a very good season.
Of encouraged by the fact that she was only 0.3 seconds behind, right? So
yes,
I think it maybe ingrains a little more in your head.
Yeah.
Okay, and then on the men's side, were you more surprised with Boten starting as strong as he did, or Jasper Nelling getting in 6th in the, was it the first men's race after?
Probably more surprised with, I was more surprised with Boten, not because I didn't think he could do it once, just the fact that he did it, you know, every race that weekend.
Did you want to just go through some other things of Östersund and then kind of move through to the next?
Sure, I'm happy to. If that's the way you want to do it, I am happy to do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, so it's funny. Östersund is now, that was in late November, so we're talking about 4 months and a little bit since it happened. But I remember distinctly having the thought of, at that time, like, and I'm going to stick to Boten for a second. Boten, like, oh, this is amazing. He'll never keep it up. Not, you know what I mean? Like it's not possible for him to keep it up because, you know, we've never seen him shoot like this before. He went through the whole weekend and I think had like 2 misses. And so just like, that's just an improbable thing for him to do. And, you know, not to spoil the rest of the recap, but he continued to do it for, you know, the entire first trimester, which was pretty wild. And, so it was just one of those like, hey, this is cool. You know, he looks amazing. This is fun, but eventually he'll kind of settle out to somewhere else. And he didn't. He stayed up there the entire year, even missing chunks of the season. He still, you know, managed to stay right up at the very top. So that was amazing. Personally, it was a huge weekend, I think, for me. And you too. But having Suvi win the sprint and then Hauser win the pursuit is like, he couldn't script it better for me. So that was amazing.
That was for both of us, right? Because Magnussen was in yellow.
Yeah. So then you had Magnussen as well. And and especially now looking back, you know, with Hauser's retirement, that was kind of a really special, almost, I'm not going to say out of nowhere, but it sort of felt out of nowhere compared to her last couple of seasons that we got to have that moment with her. And there was that battle with her and Suvi in the pursuit and Hauser coming back and taking it in the end. It was a lot of fun. And it was like one weekend in, and I was pretty happy. We had Camille having that great race also after, you know, getting on the podium. So
top 6.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Maya Klutens. Man.
Poland starting with that was top 6, right? Yeah, I think so. But
real quick, I also wanted to say that was on the men's side, we had really the Perot was not what we would see the rest of the season. And I remember we talked about it afterwards, you know, Perot and Lou, you know, we assume that they'll come back, but they just didn't look quite as dominant. And those two ended up just sort of cruising away with the overalls. You know, don't worry too much about one week of the season.
All right, moving on to Hochfilzen. And we can always come back if...
Sure.
So we had Giacomo winning the sprint. But we had Philip Horn on the 3rd stage of the podium. I think that was his first podium. I'm not sure about that, but I remember being quite happily surprised.
Yep.
How would you rate it between those two?
Oh, Horn, definitely. Giacomo, one of those guys you always felt was... he
Possibility
definitely
is
has
there.
the speed, right? Yeah, exactly. Like he's gonna be at the top eventually, and that was sort of like he had that great run last year. So not as surprised to see him poke his face back or his nose back up at the front, but Horn definitely, and one of those people I think we both have a soft spot for.
And then on the women's side, we had the sprint with Jean Monod winning, but then Schierkeide second and Magnussen third. How would you rate those two, Schierkeide and Magnussen?
I don't know. It's funny
because I felt like with Magnussen, it was very much like, is it just a 1 week?
Yes.
Or is she going to do well again? So
yeah. And it's funny because in retrospect, you're like, oh, of course those two were up there, right? Because they both had amazing seasons. But I agree, right? Magnussen, I don't need to belabor the point, but yeah.
Right. And that was also when Amy Bezerga was in the top 6, I think.
Good week for her.
Yeah.
Always love that alpine snow.
Yeah.
I also think. And we don't focus too much on the relays, but I think it was now 2 weeks in a row that obviously Norway had beaten France, right? And this was after France had sort of dominated the relays the prior year, and so it's like, they don't really need the Bow brothers. They'll be just fine.
Yeah. No, actually, when you mentioned relays, I was going to mention it, I forgot, but it was also in Östersund, United States men had a 5th.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the relay in Hochfields, they had also a really good result. Just quickly looking it up here. 4th.
Yeah. What a great season for the men. Ugh. Yeah.
Okay, we'll go to the races in Annecy, the Grand Bonnat. Bigger surprise, Irwin in 10th or Batavska Fialkova in 5th?
Irwin in 10th.
Yeah.
I think this was sort of when it hit me that, hey, she's going to have a great year.
Mm-hmm.
Always hoped. And it's funny because at this point we had already been trying to get her on the pod for a couple of weeks, and then she just started showing out. So it was kind of fun.
Yeah.
That was a great week for her because she was 10th in the sprint, and then I think she was in the mass start also. Yeah, 13th. The two of her. Well, at the time, they were two of her better finishes, and she just kept piling them up the rest of the season.
Men's side, like in hindsight, I think I know where you're going to say, but at that point, Hornig in 9th and Narath in 10th.
Hornig in 9th?
Then the sprint, and Narath was in 10th. And I know that, Narath had a very good season after that still, but
I would say at the time it was notable because Hornig had a really good year the year before in 24-25. So at the time, I don't think it was stunning to see him get another top 10. It was very cool. Navrath getting himself into the top 10. That was a leading edge indicator of where he was going. But yeah, I think looking back, Hornig was definitely, because that was just the tip of the iceberg for Navrath. I mean, he had a great year the rest of the run.
And then we'll move on to Oberhof with Narath.
Real quick.
Oh yeah.
Real quick. I just also I remember being really excited at this point about Dalla, because I think we'll talk about him more later for obvious reasons. But he had to fight his way up, and then he's on the podium, and it just
didn't he win like 3 IBU Cups in a row, and then came back
to get there. Yep. Yeah, and then he was second on the sprint and third in the pursuit. It's like, yes, you got this, buddy. Like you can, So, and then what was Strello? I remember in Annecy, it happened to him and to I think it was Camille, that they both left the range in first in the mass start and both ended up in fourth because they just got passed by like the freight trains coming by them.
Yeah.
I remember when Strello left the range, I thought he had a big enough lead. And I think I posted this. I said something like, well, at least it's not going to happen to him like it did with Camille, a little while ago. And then it did. I was like, oh, poor buddy. I did it to him. But that was the start of Marin Shirkaida, right? I shouldn't say the start, but like when she had that final lap where she went alone.
Didn't she catch
ahead
up with Julie? No, the Italian.
Why she went ahead of Justine and Lou. Oh, you're thinking about the relay. The relay.
Yeah, no, that's later.
Yeah. And this one, she went ahead of Justine and Lou, and then just sort of held a gap. It's not like she was flying away from them, but sort of they were just stuck like 10 meters behind her. Yeah, that was very cool to see her do that. I like this game. This is cool. I'm enjoying these memories.
Yeah, my only thing is that I feel like you're leaving so much out then, right? But I mean, also can't go through everything. But
well, if I'm leaving something out, you mention it. If there's something that hit you.
Oh yeah, no, I will. For the
actually, can I mention one more thing about Annecy? Because it's a sad memory now, but at the time, it was you just didn't think about it so much. But Bakken finished in fifth in the sprint, and it's like, you know what, he was really good. Anyway,
I admit, I find the hardest part when you sort of look at the season standings and his name is
still there.
It's
yeah. It's not like it's not just a tragedy because he passed. I mean, it obviously, like, that is the bigger issue, or the bigger sadness, I should say. But it was also like he had worked so hard to come back, and not only was he back, but he was really doing well.
Strong.
He was thriving. Yeah. So it's just
as we all know, the strongest men's team in the when it comes to depth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, and I mean the day we heard about it, it was obviously the biggest surprise shock of the whole season, but still.
Yeah, sorry, I just was looking through the results.
It's weird how it's kind of fallen off the radar a little bit.
Yeah.
As it always goes like that. But yeah, there's definitely these moments, like I said, you scroll through a results list and then all of a sudden it hits you again, right? But
yes, exactly that.
Moving on to Oberhof, maybe by this time not so much of a shock, but Narath getting his second place.
Yeah,
and on the opposite, Strelo with 3 misses in a sprint.
Very strange. When was the last time you did that?
I don't know, but it was quite a while.
You know what?
And we still see these errors sometimes with the, when they show the hits and misses on the, and when I see 3 misses on his whatever that imprint is.
Oh yeah.
I'm always like, oh, is that a mistake? Or, so I actually double check it with him because it happens sometimes, but.
Oh yeah. Last time he hit 70% had 3 misses in a sprint. Let me put it that way. Was Antholz of last season, so 24-25.
Okay, not too crazy, I suppose.
Those then before that, it was back in 22-23.
Huh.
So that's not a common occurrence.
No, for sure. For the women's, I looked at the pursuit because we had Lou in 10th, which was, to me a bit of a surprise.
Yeah.
And Regina Ermitz was in 9th.
Yes. That was what I was going to mention. Yeah.
She's had an amazing season, right? But obviously
for sure.
We didn't know it at the time. But so would you say that was a bigger shock to you?
Regina at the time? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think that was one of her only top 10s in her career at that point. So yeah, I would 100% say that. That was a really interesting weekend in the story of this season as a whole. You had Lou had a bit of a down weekend. Suvi had a good weekend. So she pull. I think she was like 50 points down by the end of the weekend. On the other side, you had Jacquemelle have a great weekend and really took charge of the overall race as Boughton was out and Lagride was out. And then you had there was something else big that happened. Oh, Elvira. That was going to mention. I think Elvira swept she had both wins in the sprint and the pursuit that weekend. So it felt like, oh man, here comes Elvira after a quiet first trimester. So it really felt like that, at least at that point, that Lou and Eric were not inevitable as the winners. Yeah.
Then for Ruhpolding, I had the women's pursuit, but I wrote something down incorrectly. But one of the two options was in 24th, Shiloh Rousseau after 26 in the sprint and improving that to 21st. And for some reason, I wrote down Shirkaide from 62nd to 9th, but that's definitely not correct because she still had a strong race from 9th to 4th. But I
wonder where
I
that
guess
came
that
from.
wasn't so much of a surprise, but
Yeah.
I think regardless, for me personally, it was totally Shiloh that she already had such an amazing result qualifying, and then to improve on the 26th place was still giving me goosebumps actually now that I say it, because I remember watching that and be like, oh my God, what's
and remember
here?
Right, because she like well into the race, like she was clean and she was racing in the top 10.
Yeah. She had in her last shooting, she had 2 misses.
Yeah. That was really cool to see. You sort of got a taste for what she could do in the future.
And they also had 3 Canadians in the pursuit, right?
Yes.
Nadia and Pascal also in there. So,
man, I want to talk about the Canadian and the American teams and kind of do a little recap on them later. But I felt like the Canadians this year could never quite sync up. Who it's like, Pascal would be good for a week, and then Shiloh was good, and then Nadia was good, and we never got to see them really all running at the same time. And I just,
and there's always this little what if for the Olympics, right? Where they could have come all together. Who knows?
Because you see this race from Shiloh, that race in the final pursuit from Pascal, and you're like, there's a lot of talent there. It just never really gain the momentum, but next year we'll see it. Also for the women in Ruhpolding, because we had it's the weird schedule, because in Ruhpolding they start early, and you had the pursuit at the end of Oberhof, and then to start off on Wednesday you had the women's pursuit in Ruhpolding, and that was when Shirkaide made that big charge, and just went caught up to Lisa in the final straightaway and sort of cut her off a little bit. Yeah.
Well, we had Norway, Italy, and Sweden within 3 seconds, and then France in 10.
Nuts.
Right?
And that was the men's relay I'm thinking of Oberhof, I think. The men's relay where they
that
had
was also
all
with
of them.
France, Norway, Germany in 8 seconds.
Yeah, everybody was within 5 seconds. Yeah. The men's relay in Ruhpolding was the one with Estonia finishing very, very high. They finished.
They were in 5th, and Czech Republic 6th, or Czechia.
Man, that's a lot of fun. What a sideways relay. We had
and that, as far
Fabian
as I remember,
with a penalty loop at the start, and France still wins.
Yeah. No, but there weren't many people sitting that one out, right?
Nope. Man.
But and then of course a little different in Novi Mesto.
Yes.
And I wrote down, and I'm maybe mixing this up in my head, but so it was between. Well, okay. So one was that I kind of remember that it wasn't completely green with a white track in the middle. But the comparison question is Were you more surprised with the single mixed relay Germans in first place or the Germans being disqualified?
Being disqualified. That was so sad. I'm going to say first place. That the combo of Fichtner and Fund winning was really, really cool. And that's how I choose to remember.
But when it comes to surprise, were you more surprised that they actually won or disqualified?
I mean, they were disqualified. I mean, by the letter of the law, they were disqualified appropriately. But I was more surprised at the moment when they were disqualified.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we could fill another hour just talking about how rules are applied in some cases and not others. But
and, man, I'm just looking through the mixed relay. Italy 1, France 2, Czechia 3, United States 4. I mean, that was a funky
mixed
week.
Relay?
The mixed relay, not the single mix, just the regular
in
mix.
Nova Meso?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. United States 4,
Yep.
They've had so many good results.
I know. These relays, it was a great relay season.
Yeah. Well, we kind of talked about the Olympics, so I didn't want to go in.
Yeah, we talked about the Olympics a little bit. Just every every race we did an episode. Real quick. Can we go back to Roop holding? Yep. I just wanted to mention that was where Dale had that win, and he was his son was there, and it was very emotional. And I have this memory of him and winning, and then seeing his family, and it was very, very, very cool.
Well, that links perfectly because I was going to make you compare Boaten's win in the individual to Dale's win in the mass start.
Yeah. I mean, they were both amazing. Differently, but both amazing. Yeah. Dale going 20 for 20 for the
yeah, I know.
In the mass start. Yeah, it's just unbelievable. That was absolutely unbelievable. I that's probably the one that gets me. I have goosebumps thinking about it right now. That not that Boaten wasn't incredible. That was also just absolutely superb.
I guess it was more in line with his performance, but maybe the surprise came from the whole situation with Bakken and being able to. I still find that like the whole context, if you consider that, and then still winning at the Olympics. In a way, there's like it's almost like one of those meant to be things. But at the same time, to be able to do that, just yeah. And I was gonna put in there too the interview of Sturla, but I don't know if that's something I want to go over.
Certainly memorable. It's certainly memorable.
Yeah, surprising too.
Yeah.
On the women's side, were you more surprised with Ristova in third in the individual or Andebesh in 16th in the sprint?
Andebesh in 16th. Just because I had no expectations for her. Just being there, I thought was amazing. Ristova at least had some really great like juniors finishes. Not that she's not replicated that on the World Cup level, but Andebesh, I mean, that was freaking amazing. And then she did it again in the pursuit. It wasn't like it was a one magical day. She did it again. It was so great talking to her in Holmenkollen, and she just was sort of like, it was great, but I think that I can't wait to talk to her about it because I almost got the impression that she feels that she could do that on a regular basis.
Wouldn't
that be exciting?
And it's interesting too that obviously she has the connection with Norway. That we actually talked to her about how it's hard for small teams to get financing and keep things going while you're also trying to prepare for Olympics or next season.
Yep.
Right. So
she was talking about
a very interesting perspective.
They need to have a coach. It's like in Norway, I mean, the Norwegians also need to have a coach, but it's not a question of if. It's like,
but they can
what
put
great
a job
coach
out
will they get?
And they'll get 50 applicants or whatever.
But, the other thing I remember from the Olympics was, two things. QFM's just outrageous skiing and the Swedes just felt like they kept hitting their head against the wall. Like it just couldn't quite get over the hump. And it just makes me happy they at least got the relay medals, and Ponsaloma got his medal.
Ponsaloma, yeah.
Yeah.
How was
Vitozzi.
Would you say that was a big surprise that Ponsaloma
That was a big surprise. Yeah.
did better than Sebe?
Based on the way the season was going, absolutely.
But I feel I must admit that I haven't really compared the stats, but I always consider Sebe the best Swede, male Swede, and then Ponsaloma, maybe not even close behind, but still very, very good. And definitely, with his skiing, that there's always a bit of a surprise possible. But
yeah. And I did a comparison between Seba and Jacomel and Perrault at some point during the second trimester, and Samuelson's statistics compared quite favorably to the two of them. And, I was hopeful that he was going to get at least another medal somewhere in there.
The fact that he also won the pursuit, not the sprint.
Yes. Yeah. 4 shoots instead of 2. Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Do you also remember, I think was it the individual, Baiba had that amazing ski day where I think she was like the 3rd fastest woman.
Yeah. Was it also where she had like a 16th, or was that earlier in the season?
No, you're right. She was 22nd.
Oh, 22nd, yeah.
Yeah, 22nd. She was 15th in the sprint. Actually,
see, that always doesn't surprise me, because I know that she, if the wax is good, she has the potential to be definitely in the top 10 skiing, right?
Yeah. Sidorovic. I mean, the Polish women, they had that great Olympics and got 3 in the mass start with Jakiela and Sidorovic and Zuk.
Yeah, I felt so bad for Tobias, because he talked to me in Oslo about how he was disappointed I didn't make an isolated pursuit cup for Natalia. And then looking it up today, I actually noticed that Veer and Vitozzi were both faster in isolated pursuit.
So we have to make her an isolated pursuit bronze medal, and then
bronze medal, yeah.
And then also send one out to Veer and Vitozzi.
Yeah. That I'm not sure if that's going to happen.
Well, if you wanted the medal, you should have been faster. No.
But it's possible that he maybe talked about the jump in positions, because I think Sidorovic jumped 28.
Jump. Yeah.
28 positions. Although, no, that's also Veer jumped from 44 to 9.
God, that was a great race for her. Yeah. That was a great race. I mean, all things, starting in 44th, you got very little chance at winning a medal, and she still crushed it. That was amazing. Volfa in 11th that day.
I was just going to say Volfa, because the nice thing is that I think the previous season, Baiba had already mentioned to you, like, there's one coming on our team. Just keep an eye on her.
Yeah.
And, we all have that sometimes where we're like, there's a good one coming. And sometimes it works out and sometimes it doesn't. But holy man, here definitely worked out.
Oh, good gracious, did it ever. Man, Lotte Lee and Baiba, they've given us some good hints.
Absolutely. Yeah.
The Bulgarians.
Think about it.
I'm just looking at this now. Hristova had the bronze, obviously, but then 11th in the sprint, 7th in the pursuit.
Didn't they have another bronze on the team?
Todorova had a really good. What did she finish? 4th in the sprint.
Oh, 4th. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, they definitely timed their peak performance well.
Did they ever? Yeah. Philip Horn 4th in the mass start. Ugh.
Yeah, and Vogt too, right? Vanessa Vogt. And the individual, I think. Interesting too that, when you look at the results, just without context, then Eric Perrault and Lou had a good Olympics, but not the Olympics that could have been, I guess, if you want to.
Oh, for sure. Like it was very good, but it could have been stellar.
you wouldn't be shocked if they got the most medals, right? And then, was it Ligred who had the most medals in the end? If you just count,
because he matched. He matched JT, QFM, and Marta Roysland with the most ever.
Mm-hmm. But no gold.
No gold.
Other than the in the Sturla versus Jacqueline competition.
Oh, he definitely won it in that. This is incredible. I'm just scrolling through here, and in my memory, I need to be better about this, but it locks in, who won medals, and then I always forget because you got these people like Horn in fourth, and that or Hedensalo, right, in fourth, and how that would totally change. Now we're going to look at Hristova differently now because she has a bronze medal. And these people who come so close, and
that makes me think of Vogt, who has now 2 Olympics in a row, 4th place in the individual.
Well, and I was going to spin it the other way and talk about Suvi, right? She ends up in 3rd, and so that is like the way that she felt at the end in Oslo, right? And if she didn't have that bronze medal, you think, oh man, but she gets to take that home with her, right? And that she can always look at that and be like, hey, look, that was pretty damn good.
Look what's hanging on the wall.
Yeah, exactly. Can't take that away.
Well, and of course we had Polish team getting 6th in the relay women.
Tobias, yeah. I just remember how he was happy and was like, but it wasn't, it could still be better. And I was like, what a coach.
Yeah.
What a coach.
Then after a little break, we went to Kontiolahti. We had the Urberg sisters on the podium, but we also had Vobornikova, who got in 4th. And that was a bit of I wouldn't even say a start of a really good couple of races for her, but she basically kept it up at that level till the end of the season, right?
Yeah. So from the mass start when she won bronze in Antholz, she went 4th, 5th, 7th, 17th, 10th, 11th, 3rd. It's pretty good.
Yeah, no kidding.
This was actually going to be one of my questions for you, and I'm just going to ask it now. The way that she closed out the season, especially with the bronze medal, and then she kept it going. Do you look at her and her potential differently now, as what your expectations, or maybe not expectations, but sort of raise your ceiling for where you think her performance could go?
I kind of feel, and it's not based on any analytics or coaching knowledge or whatever, but I kind of feel like we're seeing the potential that we kind of felt like was there. And it just started coming out. And I also think, with good results, you get better confidence. And if you then have another good result, it just gets better and better confidence wise. So, but I mean, you still have to do it every weekend. But in that sense, I'm not I can see her as somebody who's, in the top 6 globe race, in the globe race. But, still, one race is one thing, but then you see the weekend after she's there again. And then did she end with a 3rd in the mass start?
Yep.
Then you're just part of the elite, right? With results like that. And now it's a matter of, are we going to see her do that again next year? Or it's hard to say. But I mean, I kind of thought she had that potential, and in that sense, I wasn't surprised. But I mean, totally. When you see that name show up or see her in the race, and
I'm just looking at her stats in those last few races. So she hit 88 point something % for the year. So it's not crazy that she did this, but 95%, 100%, 90, 100, 75% in a very, very windy race in Estonia. So I don't really hold that against her. 100, 85, 95. So she was just on an absolute
I
tear.
think a big part of that is confidence, right? They always say that when you keep hitting, that the targets get bigger and bigger.
Mm-hmm.
And if things aren't working, it's the opposite.
Yeah. And in addition, like we had talked about maybe the added pressure because Davidova ended up not racing.
Right.
I can't remember. I think she was at Nova Mesto. I can't remember exactly the last race she ran. And so added pressure, but she certainly didn't seem bothered by it. She really stepped up and looked like she belonged.
Yeah.
What this is a great close to the season.
Well, and you've mentioned her name numerous times, but in that same race, Leah Meyer got in 7th.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, and I will always appreciate her pointing out that Olympians who finish in the top 8 get a certificate. Never knew that until she put it up, and it's fun to see her celebrate those things. Also, one of the things I was going to mention at the end was athletes who are on vacation versus athletes who are not. And I've been very interested to see that she has like almost taken no break at all. And maybe she will at some point down the road, but she has been training just straight through. So I'm really curious. We'll see how it works out. She made huge improvements this year. So
yeah. Oh, and thanks for mentioning that, because it's you think always of when you come to Olympians' homes or something like that, you see the medals. Mm-hmm. But how cool is it to just have like an official piece of paper framed on the wall that says that you were, in her case, 7th in an Olympic race. That's
I know. I think it's really cool, and I just never knew that was a thing until she posted it.
So, one more for Kontiolahti. More surprising, Lou in 16, while Hannah Augenthaler is 14th, or that Frey breaks his rifle or loses rifle, gets a spare one, and still shoots more than 50%.
That was it. I mean, that was incredible. Yeah.
And as I wrote that, I was thinking, it's an amazing feat with a rifle that you haven't really shot with a lot, but if at all. Of course, he wasn't pushing as hard, so that makes it maybe a little bit easier. But I still, when I saw was it the second shooting that he had 4 misses, or
he couldn't.
I kind of forgot, but it started getting better and better, and holy crap, he's starting to figure out this rifle. So
well, and also he could have, like, there are a lot of different ways you could go with it. Like, you could just quit, you could step out, or you could just be pissed off the entire time. But he was apparently just playing, playing to the crowd also.
Yeah.
It just speaks a lot to who he is.
And it's both ways, right? Because then the crowd, of course, appreciates that. Yeah. That you're not just giving up and still trying. And
it was really funny. Also that weekend, the men's individual, this is a race I'm going to try to remember as long as I can. Because it was Lagride in bib 50, Christensen in 56, and Perot in 60th. And Hofer had already gone 20 for 20 in bib 34. But you had these 3 guys who were all racing very well, and they just kept hitting shots. So like Lagride would get there and hit 5, and then Christensen would come in right after him and hit 5, and then Perot would come in and hit 5 again. And it was like, oh my God, how can they? The pressure just keeps mounting up, and they just kept matching each other. It was really, really, really fun to see. And I mean, Perot didn't need that one to win the overall, but that was kind of a nice.
No, but it's nice to see a race that all the top athletes have the best race possible with 0 misses, right?
Yeah.
And, I didn't look into it. I'm guessing that Perot probably won 15, 20 seconds just by his shooting times. And then, he's also a super fast skier, so.
Yeah. Perot was 1 minute and 36 seconds in his shooting time. And Lagride was 1:49, 13 seconds. Whew, look at 13, you go. Yeah. Well done. And then the other race, or the other result I was thinking about that weekend was Batovska Fialkova got on the podium, which is really nice to see. Fiechner was in 5th in the individual as well. Really happy for her after, obviously, and then fourth in the mass start. But what had happened in the
the relay single mix.
Yes.
Yeah, she had a really good spell.
Yeah, she didn't let it bother her at all. Marta Johansson was in seventh.
Yeah,
also one of my most improved for the year. Anyway, just and then this is the other thing I wanted to mention too. I apologize. It was the last relay of the Sean Doherty, Maxime Germain, Paul Schomer, Campbell Wright era, because Paul Schomer obviously has retired, and they finished in fifth, and it was just a really amazing run that they went on. If you go all the way back to Soldier Hollow in 23-24, they finished. This is every relay they ran since then: 4th, 6th, 6th, 16th, 9th, 15th, 9th, 5th, 4th, 7th, 8th, 13th, 5th, 5th. And just the United States men have never done anything quite like that. Well, good for them.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Hopefully they can continue this trend. It's going to be a little harder, but
young guys, time to step up.
Should we move on to the very preview? Yeah, actually, you made a good bridge with Hofer because that was one of my surprises. Yeah. So, were you more surprised with when I had Hornick in 9? And although that was a really, really good result, I'm going to say the USA relay team in 3rd, or the fact that Hofer had his 11th top 15 of the season.
11th top 15 of the season. That was an incredible year. I didn't see it coming.
The year that he went to train with Sweden, to me, made me feel like he was kind of thinking of his retirement and what am I going to do and get some, some knowledge from another team and that kind of thing. And then to come back and already, the first races, you were like, okay, well, he's not just coming back. He's, he's doing very well. And then, because originally counted 10 and I'm like, one more count, I'm like, no, holy crap, it's actually 11 top 15.
Where did he finish in the overall? I think 14th. Yeah, 14th. Which doesn't sound amazing, but you consider if you look back at his entire career, he only had a 12th, a 5th, and 8th. He only finished better than that 4 times in his career.
Well, and how old was he this season?
He was 36 now, at the start of the season.
Yeah.
So I joked with him. I didn't record this. I joked with him at the end. He did something really cool. So knowing that Giorgio that was his last race with Fondo Italia at the end of the race, Hofer gave his bib to Giorgio. And nice. I just happened to be there at the time, and I joked with him. I was like, buddy, I need you to keep racing because you were one of the last guys around who was in my age range, and it just makes me feel better that you're still out here kicking butt. And he laughed and he said, well, I'll see what I can do about that. But it was I'm
such a good
very,
guy.
very happy.
Even with the donuts, he was kind of joking around and stuff. And,
with the donuts, and Dora took his donuts.
I can't really if now that I think about it, I remember him as somebody who was always kind of smiling. Or
yes,
I'm sure he's had his moments where he was not overly pleased, but and there was another one, and I quickly have to look that up.
From Contiolati?
Were you more shocked by the fact that the Finns came in 3rd in the single mixed relay, or that Knoten basically won? Well, that's too much, but that she won it for Sturla, if you want to put it that way.
Oh yeah, that final leg.
Yeah, and her shooting awesome. And.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Let's be honest. Like when you see those two names, you would assume that Sturla would kind of. And again, I don't want to say just win it for the team because they were both amazing.
Well, and especially the form that Sturla was on.
Yeah.
Right. Like no, but
still, because she had quite a bit of misses, right?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I mean, Knoten was phenomenal. She was amazing.
Yeah. She had one miss in total.
That was. That was fantastic. What a rock star.
Spare.
And it was windy that weekend too. I mean, if you go back and look at some of the misses from the pursuit. You know,
So was that
Jacqueline
the
in
Sunday?
second on Sunday. Yeah, Sunday.
Yeah.
In the mixed relay, Sweden had 14 extras. United States had 14, Slovakia 10, Germany 18, Norway 19, and 5 penalty loops. Germany had 4 penalty loops. It was a crazy day. France had 4 penalty loops. Just nuts. And that was not the
Which
single
is
mixed. That was
also-
the regular mixed. Yeah.
When you then consider that with the 5 penalty loops, they still versus the one on Sweden,
Oh, I know. Yeah.
still we're only 118 back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Margie Freed anchoring the United States relay.
I don't want to take anything away from that, but I'm still in my head. I'm more impressed with Dietrich's third leg.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Maybe I don't know what it was, but they were in such I don't know. Did they go out in first position or?
Oh yeah, Maxime.
They were in a really good position, and
yeah.
Just to keep her head cool and
Yeah.
not lose anything.
Yep.
It was just a crazy ride.
Totally agree.
Just to watch it.
Because Germain was in first, Campbell kept it, and then Deidre Irwin, who she's never been in that position before. Literally has never been on the World Cup, has not been in first place in a race, and no nerves. One spare round. That was awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then Margie, to even or not top that, but to duplicate that, incredible.
Yeah,
that was really cool.
Can we talk about the pursuit day real quick? We talked about it ad nauseum, but if we're going to talk about things that I remember from that weekend, it was Sturla running all by himself, and the picture of him on the range the last time where he's there and there's this emptiness behind him.
I know.
And then he leaves and there's still emptiness, right? It's just there's it's it was he was so far behind or so far ahead that he was almost like he was so far behind. It was
the other group was shooting on a different range or something.
Yeah, it was just bizarre.
233.
All that wind and he had one miss. It's just anyway, just crazy. 233 is nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Campbell,
because his starting position wasn't.
He started
what did he start with
10 seconds on Jacqueline, 17 on Navrath, right. 30 on Fry, 30 on QFM, 42 on there were plenty of guys who were in range.
Mm-hmm.
233 is just obviously it's a record, but that's outrageous.
When you look at isolated time, it was 1 minute 20.
Yeah.
With Campbell Wright and then Fabien Claude.
And then, that's just crazy.
Well, and then you consider he probably took his foot of the gas a bit.
At the end, I know. And then the women's pursuit where Suvi beat out Lou. They finished in second and third, but I think what sticks in my mind is not that Suvi finished ahead of her, but she finishes just ahead of her, and then they both turn and immediately embrace and clearly it's just what I told Lou, when just how awesome I think that is, that the people who are her closest competitors end up loving her almost more than anybody else. That's just that's really awesome. So.
And it is really nice to know that it's also not an exceptional site, right?
Yeah.
And I thought even the sprint in Oslo with Hannah and Julia Simon.
Yes. Yep.
Where, Simon said right away, I would have done the same and it's all fine.
Yep.
But I can totally see, and you see her slapping the pole in the ground. That clearly she was pissed, and then still the first thing to go over and say, hey, good race.
Yep.
You beat me.
Oh, immediately.
Fair and square. That also maybe in a different light, but still shows you the mutual respect between athletes and.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. In the same, we're jumping ahead to Oslo now, but Sturla and Perot have that sprint, and Sturla ended up winning, but he's pointing at Perot and he goes over and like points at the yellow because it's like the split. He points at the yellow to like acknowledge, hey, Perot is like he's the champion. He won the overall today. Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah, it's just very cool to see that these guys, these men and women, do this. Just very easily in other sports, they would really not like each other all that much.
Well, and then I'm looking at the race results for the sprint. Isaac Fry fourth, right after that unlucky situation in the previous relay. And then for Oslo, I was just going to ask you what surprised you more, that Ingrid Tandrevold was fifth in the sprint, or that Vogt had the, I think, ninth ski time in the pursuit?
Ooh. Probably Tandrevold, just because it was such a delightful surprise. Yeah. And how excited
we talked about the Canadian team where everything needs to come together, and that still so strongly feels with Vogt that if she can find a way where she can have her strong skiing with her strong shooting and shoot like she has done in the relay, where she's still, I don't think she'll ever be the fastest shooter, but where she doesn't lose like half a sec or a half a minute, she can be really, really strong during the season.
I still want to see that. It's there, and I want to see it.
Yeah. And then for men's, I can only write down the surprise with Sturla's third trimester.
Yeah.
Just where he just kept going, and every week you're like, okay, well, this, And then it was a little, in a way, like, didn't he have like, was it mass start? He was only sixth or something, or like
fourth. He was fourth.
Or fourth. Yeah, very bad result, right?
Yep. He was fourth. Yeah, that was just silly. And still, the best part about it is he's fourth, and who's in fifth? Jacqueline. The poor guy. He's like, I'm going to cycling after this. I can't. That's the final straw. Like, I finished in fifth, and the guy, he drops down off the podium just to torture me.
Yeah, that was, and it's funny because I wouldn't really have picked up on that, but because you did and shared, that was really cool. But
I also wanted to mention for the mass start, getting to talk to Losbers afterwards, and I don't remember if we recorded it or not, but just that this 16, 17-year-old kid is out there competing with these grown men. I mean, pretty wild. To be fair, he is built like a grown man.
I was going to say, you don't feel like there's a 16-year-old standing in front of you.
No. Hey, aside from the facial hair that's still coming in, when I say that carefully, because at 16 I looked much worse. That's the only indication that he's still a teenager. Everything else about him looks like a grown man.
Well, you put him next to Frey. They said one is 16 and one is, I don't know. I remember Frey's, 20, 21?
Let me pull him up.
Like, you definitely pick Frey, right? For the younger one?
Absolutely. He is 22. Old man.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy.
Oh, the things that we didn't talk about from Holmenkollen. I wanted to mention, where did it go? I just had it in front of me. Oh, the Swiss women, right? I think they had a really good close to the week, or to the season. Was
good
the
start
pursuit?
to them.
With Hake Gross was in 9th, and anyway, and Leah Meyer in 20. Anyway, it just felt like they closed out the season well, and I was happy for that. I could just be misremembering. I'm happy
but strong season overall for sure.
For Sandra to go out with that, and Nick having that good last race, and I think they had 3 guys in the mass start, so it just good for the Swiss. They sent their beloved coach out on a definite high note.
Mm-hmm. Well, and on the men's side Nations Cup, they were 9th, and the women's as well.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So that's
any Nations Cup surprises for you? I don't have it pulled up right now, but you look and you're like, whoa, that was.
Well, I'm not happy where Canada is. I feel like it's not. I'm sorry, the men's Canada, and not just looking at points, but just I'm very concerned with. We've seen Logan retire, Halden retire.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really hoping that the young guys, Luke and Jesper, are able to fill those voids and see an upward trend again. But that is more concerning for me, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. It's a lot of pressure.
The women 17th are doing well. I think there's more potential.
Yeah, and that seems like that was like the floor of their performance this year too.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's only going to go up the next couple of years.
Yeah, Switzerland in 9th aligns with the things we've been seeing, and Poland in 10th is. I know Tobias wants to be higher than that, but I still think that's a good result. And I think too, with Czech Republic, with, like you were saying earlier, Davidova for so many years was sort of the number one athlete, and obviously she struggled in the last couple of years. And we've seen Yislova, is it? Who had a very strong season shooting and still good skiing and stuff, and she hasn't been as good as that season couple of years ago. Yet they're still in 6th with we've seen some older athletes, and I don't know, just still super solid. And
and I forgot who came in to be their coach this year. But they had some coaching turnover too. I'll have to go back. I don't know why. I can't remember off the top of my head, but good early results, I would say.
Yeah, because there's 6 in the men's listing too, right?
Yeah. Slovenia 10th for the men. Jakov Fox still doing a lot of good work, but I think some of those young guys are Anton Vidmar and a couple of the other guys are.
Have you heard anything about Lampich?
No, only that she was sick a lot this year. Apparently she was just like couldn't get healthy. That's the only thing. Yep. Estonia was in 12th.
No, there was a little naggle in my head about if she would stay in biathlon or professional sports after the Olympics.
Yeah, or go the way of Stina Nilsson and go a different way.
Does the Olympic season, like, do you kind of see Eric and Lou's globes have a little asterisk?
No.
Because of the Olympic season?
No, absolutely not. Still weighs the same. Do you?
Well, not in the sense that I don't think they deserve it.
Yeah.
And I mean, that is the globe, right? Being healthy, taking part in all the races.
Mm-hmm.
So no, definitely not in that sense. I just find in general, Olympic seasons are just...
They're funny.
They're always like, yeah, but in the sense of, we've seen super strong Hannah, but they set out in Novo Mesto, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Sturla was so strong, but I mean, again, I don't want to take anything away from Lou and Perrault, and I think they're 100% good, deserved winners. I guess I'm more thinking of, not having the Olympics as part of the points.
Yeah.
And I understand the reasoning behind it, but it's still, with regards to the globes, it feels a bit like a distraction almost. Distraction, not the right word, but it divides priorities, and that's sometimes maybe even separate from who wins and doesn't win in the end, but just more. It's kind of unfortunate for the globe race, I guess, that not everybody has the same priorities. But
no, I agree. Yeah, it can create.
So I'll reinstate that. I'm 100% Lou and Eric, 100%. Deserve it. There's no question. And for them, I don't see an asterisk at all. Like, these are 100% the same value as any other year. But just, I guess, more the idea of not including the Olympics. But,
well, and I think for me, almost with Perrault, I mean, I see, with Lagride especially, because we saw just the outrageous level that he achieved late in the season. That was just silly. But Jacquemelle, not being able to participate at all the last trimester, and obviously you got to be healthy, but he was neck and neck with Perrault for the first part of the season. Bowden, for obvious reasons, sick, and then the trauma of finding his friend, passed away, missing out on a good chunk of the second trimester. So it was just a weird year, but I mean, Perrault was good to great the entire season, so he obviously is a deserving champion. Right. But it makes me really excited for next year, right? When you have Perrault and hopefully Lagride going, in full season at a high level, and Jacquemelle healthy, and Bowden, if he can replicate what he was able to do. Samuelson will be in there fighting. Who knows what level Fry will be at, or what other Norwegian comes, because we didn't even see Stromsheim or Surum at all. Like, they just were non-entities this season.
That's fair.
Yeah, so who knows?
Who knows how many at the IBU Cup or even below that?
Yeah, right. Yeah, gonna take the surge up. I don't know. That could be a lot of fun.
One picture ingrained in your head that stands out for the season?
Well, it's not fair.
Why?
That's just too many. There's too many. But if there's one picture, it's
for me, if I kind of step away from, what is the best performance, that kind of thing, there's a ton of things that have a highlight feeling. But when I think of picture, I see Anna Magnuson in yellow, because, I've followed her for so long, and how she kept that level that high for so long. And also it just looks really cool on the Swedish outfit.
It does.
So that's just an image that is sort of.
So I'm going to give you a handful. I'm going to give you a handful. Both things that were from races and then things that were not. I think the number one image from a race that I come back to is Sturla on the range for the last shoot in the pursuit in Estonia, because it just was crazy to see. Just like this one man, he's like out on training by himself with a whole lot of fans out there.
Racing a pursuit on a sprint day.
Yeah, there was that. The back-to-back, sprint finishes in the pursuit in Oslo that we saw. I think that'll stick with me for a long time. Having Lisa and Suvi go head to head late in a race was like, I can't believe this is happening. This is like a dream come true. And then things that you already mentioned, Bowden winning the gold medal and Dalla winning the gold medal. Both were pretty amazing moments. And then off the non-race things that I'll remember, all of our interview things. One of the, it wasn't a huge interview thing, or non, it wasn't us having Lou just randomly come up to us and shared her amazing drink. But when we were interviewing Suvi after she was clearly, upset, and we started getting her talking, and I asked her about does getting on the podium, does it start to feel normal for her. And she made this sound about how like she gets on the podium and she's like, ooh, like it's just like such a delighted noise. And I can hear that. Like it was just like, and she just sounded, it was like such a delight was the only word that comes to mind. So that was pretty cool.
That inner area in Oslo is starting to get a pretty special place, hey, with sharing a drink with Lou, meeting Tarjei for the first time.
I know, almost in the exact same spot.
Seeing you speechless.
Yeah. I was not speechless this time. I was able to say, yes, please, I will have some of that.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think that moment too that they had Preutz hand out the to Lou was amazing.
Watching Lou, wiping the tears away and that was pretty unbelievable.
So
I'm
next year,
really impressed. Yeah,
who's going to win it? Globe.
Lou is going to win the women's club, and I'm going to go with. It's hard. It's hard not to go with Eric on the men's side, but I'm going to go with Sturla.
Yeah, I definitely think for the men it will be between those two. I don't know. I wonder if this is going to be a tough year for Lou. Like she could be super relaxed now that she has won one and there's so much stress away. I also, Simon was
so
very strong
that's
this
a good
year.
point.
And,
that's a good point.
And Hannah, I don't know. I still.
So I actually these are two of my questions I had for you. One was, if you go back and listen, because I did this, go back and listen to what we talked about Hannah before the season. And just sort of like, it didn't feel like had she sort of missed her moment? Was she not going to be that level of contender again? And now she finishes second in the overall. I pat us on the back a lot for Anna Magnuson, so I need to call myself out. But I think talking about how I just didn't think that she was really going to be able to summon that again. And here she is. She finished second in the overall, and that's without racing for a week. You don't know. It suddenly changes how I feel about her. And then also, when I look back at the season, I never feel that Lisa Vitozzi had this really great end-to-end season. Like I always felt like she was always. I always felt like she was working her way back. She finished third, so
yeah.
And it didn't even feel like she was at her A+ level. So next year could be a lot of fun.
Okay, so then I'm going to finish with two questions for you. Which of the Oberg sisters wins the Oberg Cup next year? And which of the German men will be the top German next year?
Ooh, that's a good question. I'm going to answer that one first. Philipp Horn is going to be the top German man, and he's going to finish in exactly 9th in the overall. And, Hannah or Elvira? I'm actually going to say that Hannah backs up her crown, her title, whatever the payment was. Maybe I saw they went to I think they went to a hockey game. Maybe Elvira bought the tickets. I think she wants Elvira to keep buying the tickets, so she wins it again.
Okay.
What do you think? I'm going to make you answer your own questions.
Yeah, I'm on the fence with Hannah in the sense of, was this a season where she was really able to peak because of the Olympics? And is Elvira finally able to, show the elite level that we know is in there, but hasn't really come out for a whole season? I would still pick Hannah in the end. And I think for the Germans, I think it's Strelo. If he can find a little bit more extra ski speed, doesn't have to be like, top 10 of the field, but if he can just find a little bit more, and then with his shooting, not only fast, but, high hit rate, I think there's more in it than 9th, but
I would be happy with that.
We'll wait and see.
I have a couple questions for you. Going into next season, so who will be the highest placed American man, and in what position will he be in? Easy. I assume I know who you're going to say who it's going to be, but what position is really what I'm curious about.
I think Campbell can make the top 6.
Ooh, all right, I like that. Same question for the Canadians.
Like the best, who's going to be the best Canadian?
Yeah.
And I'm assuming on the women's side?
Yep.
I'm going to go, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say Pascal.
Yeah. Okay.
I think, because I think maybe Shiloh has she can maybe have the higher result, best result of the season in races. But I think Pascal, I could see more consistent.
Okay. And how high up?
Top 20 is doable, I think.
Let's do it. Let's do it, Pascal.
It's a season that everything needs to work, and obviously, if she's missing 2 weekends because of sickness, then But if she can stay healthy and not have crazy drops in performance, and they have super hardworking guys and gals in the wax truck, but things need to work out there too. But I mean, it would be incredible, top 20.
And then I'm going to ask you about a few of our guests that we had this year. You already mentioned Strello. Camille Benet, how does next season work out for her? She back on the IBU Cup, regular on the World Cup, back in the top 10?
That is so hard, because if she has
I know,
1 or 2 bad weekends, then she'll probably go back to the World Cup or the IBU Cup. Yeah. I think she could be the third French.
I like it. And
overall,
I think that she's on the podium multiple times next year.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And then Nick Kartvig was the other one I was going to ask about. Only 27 going into next year. Oh, sorry. He'll be 27 in March of next year.
Man, I want to say top 15, and I even feel like he could be like top 10.
Yeah.
But obviously, he needs to have a year where things are going his way.
Yeah.
And not have this crap he have had to deal with for the last 2 or 3 seasons, where there's always something with sickness or skis or so.
I look at him and I think that there's like an 8th or 7th overall. That's just right there. Just he's so close to it.
How about Anna Gandler?
Ooh, good one. Anna Gandler will. That's another one. There are times when you look at her and it looks so easy. You're like, oh, how could she not? But then she also has been sick time and time and time again. Actually, they had really similar seasons.
And of course, it's an easy cop out, right? To say, oh well, only if they don't get sick, then.
I know, but
there are certain athletes that even can have, 1 or 2 weekends where they're not feeling great, and still, like a Sturla can still be in the top 10.
Sturla missed 2 weekends and he finished second overall. Like, this is crazy.
But
Anna Gandler will finish in 14th overall.
I think her and Hardwick are really the people where I feel like, okay, they've had some really bad luck or whatever you want to call it, but if they can turn that around, then the potential is great.
Yeah,
well, let's not forget Hardwick won the U23 2 years ago.
He did.
Right?
Yes. Yeah. It's just this year it felt like Gandler, she would start getting some momentum and then she would get sick. And she would
Mm-hmm.
start getting some momentum, and then she was sick again. Like she was 14th in Ruhpolding, and then she got sick. It just, well, we'll get there.
Now, I can think of so many other names that I want to ask you, but how do you feel about Sebe next year? Is he still going to be above Ponsaloma, and is he going to?
He will be above
challenge?
Ponsaloma. No, I think he'll finish top 5 in the overall, but won't really be challenging for the overall, if that makes sense. Like
Do you think he ever will?
I don't know.
Because
it's hard.
The problem for him too is that if he gets in a situation that after 2 trimesters he's in first place,
yeah,
it's also kind of new for him, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and then compare that to now Eric Barreau or Ligrit.
He's only 29.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to wait a couple months to see how that's going to develop.
Let's see. It is, as of today, it is April 4th. And, 5th. It is the 5th. Well, yeah, close enough. And the Frosinone Biathlon Festival is scheduled for when?
Which schedule is that?
The very first summer biathlon
what event?
Frosinone in Italy.
Okay.
It doesn't. Let's see. And the website is not loading, which is not reassuring, but they are updating the Facebook page. Anyway, last year it was the last weekend of June. So we'll see.
Okay.
So that's how long we have until we start seeing races again.
Yeah, and then one bit different schedule, but not as crazy as the year after, right? With start with Kontiolahti and Hoogvilsen and Annecy.
Well, then that's the normal part.
Sorry?
I said that's the normal part, right?
Yeah, because then we'll have the Pokljuka just after New Year's, Ruhpolding, Antholz, Novo Mesto, and then Otepää World Championships mid-February, Oberhof in March, Östersund March, and then Oslo.
Pokljuka week just looks so weird. Right?
I don't know. I kind of feel bad for the athletes.
Yeah. I know why they want to do it, because there's going to be more people at home watching, but I'm very curious how much it actually adds to the, I don't know. I'm just vaguely irritated by it.
Well, and I'm really curious how many people are going to sit out.
Yeah. Yeah, because
like, for example, and I'm not,
one race.
I'm sure because think of the Canadian men.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess they could have a relay team, and then I see the importance to go. But if you Greenland or if you don't have a full team for the relay, and you're just going for a sprint.
Yeah,
I don't know. From France, I don't know exactly where Pokljuka is, but from France to Slovenia is not like a 2-hour drive.
No,
because you're kind of crossing the Alps and Dolomites, and I don't know. Maybe my geography is not great, but it's not an easy drive, I think. And then to go back from there to Bavaria in also, 2 days or 3 days.
In order to not add races, what they did was they shortened. So what they had been doing, obviously, that first weekend of the season had sort of turned into like a mini World Championships almost. Mm-hmm. It extended across 2 weekends and had races in between, and you basically had everything. But now Kontiolahti is going to be individual, and then So individual men on Thursday, individual women on Friday, mixed relay day on Saturday, and then a sprint day on Sunday, and that's it. It just feels...
It just feels like we have a lot of World Cups with sprints, but no pursuit.
Pursuits, I know. That's 2 of them, and that's too many.
And that could be so easily solved with just adding the isolated pursuit standings for points.
Yep. Well, we have it. We are the keepers of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's another one in Nova Mesto.
I think there's 3 or 4 that have. So Kontiolahti has a sprint, no pursuit.
Pokljuka.
We have Pokljuka. Then there's
Nova Mesto.
Yeah, Nova Mesto, and then I thought there was.
And that's it. And there's 3 of them. Yeah.
All right.
So wait, there's one. So as far as the globe goes, there's 1, 2. What are there? 4%? 4 pursuits?
Yeah.
Is that it?
Well, and then you don't count the World Cup, right? Or the World Championships?
No. So you have Hogfilsen and Annecy.
Oberhof, Oslo.
And Ruhpolding. So 5. That still feels very strange.
Wow.
Why in Nova Mesto is it sprint, mass start, relay? We have mass starts in Antholz and Nova Mesto. Well, this is a weird schedule.
Huh. Well, I guess they're trying something new.
1, 2, 3.
One.
We have 5 mass starts and 5 pursuits. I would.
And then 4 individuals. That seems more than normal.
It just irritates me. I mean,
3 actually. Sorry.
A mass start is great for new fans because it actually makes sense to watch. Everyone starts together and whoever wins. But also, it's only 30 athletes that get to compete, and and I get it. So those 30 athletes, there's the ones who are probably going to be finishing at the top of the overall anyway. But I just think about the ones who get the ability to qualify into the mass start, and then it's sort of it's guaranteed.
Traveling so much harder too for teams that don't have athletes in the mass starts very often, and because then you're traveling for one race and then
or if you have one
relay if you have enough,
right. You might get one in the mass start on a regular basis. It's just
right.
This is going to be something we're going to talk about again because it's going to irritate me all summer.
Yeah, I'm not at a point that it irritates me, but I think there's always going to be, I know there's some people that really don't like the pursuit.
I get it.
I think it's a really cool race, but again, with how the points are divided, I think is a bit of an unfair advantage for those who have a really good sprint. And it should be rewarded if you have a really strong race, but you start in 40th. Yeah, and the mass start, I don't know, I've seen only 1 or 2 mass start 60s, and I can't say that I'm really, it wouldn't be, as you said, right now it's probably the easiest race for people that are new to biathlon to watch. And I think if you do mass start 60, you can throw that argument out the door because I've watched few biathlon races over my life, and man, that is, maybe it takes time to get used to, but it's very confusing. And the whole concept of knowing whoever is in the lead wins the race, that's out the door to me.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to look ahead at 27, 28 for just a second, just because the first trimester is quite different. So you have Östersund as our opening, and then Kontiolahti is the second weekend, and then Otepää is the third weekend. Then you have the holiday break, and then you go to Lenzerheide, Ruhpolding, Antholz, Hogfilsen World Championships, Oberhof, Nova Mesto, Oslo for the third trimester. It's like everyone they tossed all the different venues in a bag and just kind of reached around and pulled them out at random. So Anyway, it's late. We should go. That's a problem I'm not going to solve tonight.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
No.
All right. Well,
this was another great season. That was what, our fifth one that we've done.
Yeah.
And we will start our off season pretty soon, because I have made a list of about 58 people I want to interview. So we got to start doing it next week.
Three a week? Is that about it?
Yeah, it's gonna have to.
Maybe
it's
we
gonna
can
have to be
combine
very
a few.
busy. Yeah. Well, I think we're gonna have to.
Yeah, looking forward to it though.
Yep.
It's always very different, but a lot of fun to do. So
it is, absolutely.
All right. Thanks everyone for listening.
As always,
you'll hear back from us soon.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.